Welcome to In the Hoops. I'm your host, India Sampson, and this is where we talk all things basketball. Let's get straight into it, okay? So first things first, Kiyan Anthony committed to Syracuse this week, and if you guys don't know, I'm sure you know by now, Carmelo Anthony is his dad, and he also went to Syracuse. So I feel like that's so cool. Like, you're following in your dad's footsteps, and eventually he'll be in the league in the next couple years. He's only 17, 18, and he'll go to college probably for 2 years and come out, because what I've heard is that he's pretty good. I'll definitely be tuning into those games though. I'm super excited to see what he can do in college and hopefully one day in the league. Moving on to the news in the NBA though, Victor Wembanyama had a 50-point game against the Wizards, and in that same game, Jordan Poole had 42, even though they lost. And even though Victor Wembanyama's game was against the Wizards, who are probably one of the worst teams in the league right now, he still got 50 points. 50 points is still such a big deal, especially in the NBA with all these really, really good players, the best players in the world. And on that same day, Karl Anthony Towns dropped 46, Giannis had 59, and Jared McCain had 34. I don't know what was going on that day. It was literally the 13th, so it was about 3 days ago. And y'all, what was in the air this day? What was in the air, honestly, because that was crazy. But let's talk about Jared McCain for a second. For me, he is definitely top 5 to win Rookie of the Year this year, because I don't know, he just plays good, and then he has his little, personality on TikTok, and he vlogs. And I actually watched a vlog of his yesterday. He's one of those NBA players who kind of shows the behind the scenes of his basketball experience. So if you haven't tuned into his YouTube, it's actually kind of interesting to see what he goes through, and he's at this hotel, that hotel, what he's wearing with his friends, you know what I'm saying? I think he'll probably be the best player to come out this draft. This draft, bro, I feel like didn't have as much hype as Victor Wembanyama's draft, you know what I'm saying? And everybody, I feel like, would agree. If you don't agree, let me know. But speaking of Victor Wembanyama, I really think that he's going to have a good year this year, predicting Defensive Player of the Year. But among other things, he's scoring for the Spurs, and the 50 ball, he had, he's having really good games against decent teams. And I just feel like it's going to be a really good year for him. And I do feel like he's living up to the hype. And some might say, oh, but he was supposed to be LeBron coming into the league. No. He's supposed to be Victor Wembanyama coming into the league. None of this. Yeah, he's supposed to be the greatest player, one of the greatest players. No. He's supposed to be how he's supposed to be in the league. Defensively, him scoring, where he's supposed to be, where he's at. He gained 25 pounds in the offseason. He is going to be a good player. Let's just shut that down right now. Okay, now I'm just very interested to see where he can take the Spurs and who can be those pieces around him to really get them to the playoffs, because I feel like that is what's next for them. Play in, then playoffs, and hopefully maybe even a championship one day. I really believe in that young team. You got Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. They're such great young players, But with more breaking news about the Spurs, Greg Popovich suffered a mild stroke on November 2nd, but he is expected to make a full recovery. We don't know what time, and we don't know timelines yet. Hopefully he can get back on the court very, very soon. But moving on though, Klay Thompson came back to the West Coast and got to play his former team, the Golden State Warriors. And oh my gosh, y'all, it was a good show. The script was scripting. Curry, man. Wow, my favorite player. We'll do it every single time, okay? Although Klay did have a good game, you can't come to Steph Curry's house and beat Steph Curry, especially as a former teammate. So we had to show them what it was. But in the fourth quarter, he hit a couple of shots, and y'all, they only won by 3 points, but they won The Warriors won against Klay, and I'm so excited to see them play again. And that's just going to be so amazing. Like, the script is going to be written out so good, and it's going to be so competitive. Like, I'm so excited for that. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. But if you want to watch the next game, though, I'm pretty sure it's on ESPN, February 12th at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I'm super excited to see that. I will be on my couch sitting right here watching the game. But let's roll on over to who stood out in fashion this week. Terry Rozier of the Miami Heat. Now, you know what I think is super funny? So basically, right, I put out these polls every day on my Instagram for y'all to vote, and they're different fits from NBA players, right? So what happened with this one is I tagged Terry Rozier. He saw it, for one, and then for two, he voted in the poll for himself. That's hilarious to me. But more than that, though, I feel like this fit is a 10 out of 10. He definitely looks like a very fashionable construction worker off duty with those pants, and then the hat just makes all the look come together, you know? It makes, like, it's like the cherry on top to the look. I love that hat. That hat I need to wear now. But another person that stood out in fashion this week was Jordan Poole. And actually, he got the most votes this week at 24. And y'all really like this one. It's giving very much comfortable, but also like very businessy vibes. And also he's wearing like a Harley Davidson shirt, which is always very, very cool to wear. And then he has the sunglasses. He just looks cool in general, you know? But I always love y'all's opinions on outfits because I want to know, like, would you wear that or not? Like, would you put that whole fit together? Would you even think of that? Like, sometimes I wouldn't, but sometimes I'd be like, you know, I would wear that. Like, that's a really, really nice fit. Like, 10 out of 10, I need to put that on my body right now, you know what I'm saying? But with those polls, I will be transferring them over to the community post here on YouTube, so you guys can vote as well. So stay tuned for that. It will be most likely posted at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But with all that being said, that is it for this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay in the loop within the hoops. Okay, see you guys in the next one. Bye.